Record scratch. You said 1 minute intro, Mark, because we were running late. So we are here now live. Don't look shocked.
Hey,
Andrew looks
Dave.
shocked. Are you guys have a delay all of a sudden? Oh, no. Well, good thing I have somebody else to join me.
Hey.
What
up,
guys?
Louie?
What's up?
brother? Surprise, surprise, surprise. Hey, I think you guys are having a little bit of delay with your Elon Musk satellite system out there, just letting you know. But right now, it looks like you're back with us. What's up, Matt? Best high school trades teacher in the world is joining us. How are you?
I'm doing good. Students will be arriving here in about, 10, 15 minutes. We'll be putting down the rest of our trim work, hopefully, here. And then we've been playing with the new Airway or whatever, Element indoor air quality monitor. So we've been doing that. And also we got a radon monitor. So even though we're doing technical stuff, we're throwing in some BS in there as well.
Hey, Matt, I didn't understand. Did you say trim work or true work?
Both, actually.
Chris in the house, Buzz in the house. So I have one of those Airway things as well. I keep it down here in the basement, in my studio space because there's not a whole lot of ventilation. I love that thing. It's addicting. I watch it all the time. And I saw your post about, one kid in the room or two people in a room versus the class or five people in a room. Holy cow, does it make a difference, huh? Like you can really see the CO2 levels rise real high. And all of a sudden you go from that 89, 90 to that 56, 60. And then you wonder if you should evacuate before you suffocate.
Right. Yeah. I told the kids, I go, if it starts getting too low, we better open a window.
Yeah.
I wonder how that thing behaves when Joe Camel and the Marlboro Man enter the room.
Right.
I know, huh? Back in the day, you were smoking cigarettes in the basement. Is that what you're saying, Mark?
On the side of the train tracks, I was coughing after puff too. Never did it again.
Yeah, I was wondering if it actually, maybe if it picks up vaping, right? So when my daughters are down here, you never know, because that's a big thing in school right now, right, Matt? I mean, all the kids are doing this vaping stuff. My kids don't do it, or they say they don't do it. I don't think they do it, but they say they don't. I wonder if I can tell if they did it, if it would pick that up. You should try that. Have one of your kids pull out one of their vapes and see. Just say, I won't send you to the principal's office this time.
Oh, what time free pass, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, this is becoming a party. What's up, Etienne?
This is a new thing. BS Friday is sponsored by the vape companies, right?
We're vaping today, Etienne.
How are you, my friend?
Doing very well, thank you. I have to be fair. It's at 12:03. I received a link from Mark Willie, and I didn't even know what's going to happen. And boom, I'm here. So yeah, great to see everyone.
Yeah, it's good to see. We're not even live. Don't worry about it, Etienne. We just decided to have a party.
I wanted to let you know, Etienne, at 1:30, we're all going to get up and change computers. And we're going to switch computers with each other. So get ready for that. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Oh, there's Aaron Jones. What's up, big dog? Oh, we lost him. Now he's back. Now he's gone. We'll have to get. He comes back in. We'll let him slide. So
he's like the Spice Girls, here today, gone tomorrow.
He is like a Spice Girl. We'll give it another try. What's up, man? Yeah, that garage has bad reception.
That island in the internet.
Yeah. Aaron, we can't.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Are we there now?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's just a little low. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to check my settings here, but
yeah, it's definitely on your end. But it's good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in forever. It feels like.
Yeah, like in a week.
Yeah. Well, you were the only one hiding from our podcast in the very back. He's the only one we couldn't get up there, Mark.
That was true. He tried, but there was a line around the corner, down the block, and through the woods.
That's right. Yeah, through the woods of Las Vegas Boulevard. Etienne, where are you at, man? You look like it might be morning there.
Oh, that's my. No, actually, I'm here in Minnesota right now. I'm in St. Paul in my house, the upstairs. It looks a little bit like a cabin. I love it, and so this is my office. So I'm working
I
from
love
my
it.
home office. Yeah.
Well, I only said that because you mentioned that you have some big travel coming up. So I didn't know if that started for you already.
No, it has not. Dave, you're referring to my trip to Italy. I'm really, really excited. I'm going to Milan and Venice in about a month, and we'll get an opportunity to tour a lot of different building sites and really learn from Europe and see how they are approaching airtightness and just high performance construction, especially in Italy, which is like an old country, old cities. And retrofitting is going to be my main focus to learn more about that.
The other fun part about your trip to Italy is you'll learn about how they manage water, right? Water is how they transport people, and those buildings have been there, longer than this continent's been filled up by us knuckleheads, right?
That's right. So just Etienne, I just got to give you some advice, right? Because I know you're not European, so you wouldn't understand this, right? So when you go to Italy, unlike America, they don't like you touching all their stuff in the store before you decide whether you want to buy it or not. I learned this. Like, they don't want you touching product before, like, you're either buying it or you're not, but you're not sitting there like us. You know, I was in there. It was funny. Jen was yelling at me because she lived in Italy for quite some time. So that's my advice to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I will stay with touch with your eyes. I like that. Let's do that.
Well, perfect. All right, so let's get into this a little bit. So, Matt, you have your students coming in just a few minutes, and Big Dog, you're just hanging out in your garage trying to get some stuff done, or what?
Yeah, it was a rainy, foggy, snowy sort of morning, and I just decided to trade today for tomorrow. Doing some stuff, catching up on some drawings, and I should tidy this place up. It's kind of rode off.
Hey, that's what happens when you're super busy. I bet Matt has some kids he could send over to help you get organized.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd put them right to work.
That's right. Summer interns, Matt. There you go. I guess it'd be winter interns right now.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to trick him. I'll say it's island life.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, Matt, before the kids come in, can you share with the folks that maybe didn't see you at the show and the folks that weren't able to attend Vegas, can you share some of the highlights of maybe people you spoke to or booths you encountered, one of those sort of subjects? Or
Yeah. I can do that real quick here. Well, first of all, everybody on the screen you're looking at was part of the highlight, that is for sure. Big thanks to Etienne and Siga for kicking off my time in Vegas. I literally got off the plane. As we all know, that Monday, everything got jacked up with the flights and stuff. So I got in about an hour later than I expected. So I literally got off the plane, took my bag, went straight to the Siga dinner, met up with everybody, talk about a who's who, and a fun time. Etienne, you guys were wonderful hosts there. I appreciate everything you guys did. Like I said, that just set the tone for my next few days there in Vegas. And then, of course, the next day, I got to give a lot of props to Sashco as well. They covered my trip for me to come out. I spent some time at their booth. And then Tuesday night, they hosted a appreciation dinner for shop teachers and trade teachers. So we found as many teachers as we could that we knew was going to be there. Etienne introduced me to Todd at the Siga dinner. We got him over there as well. So that was with Sashco, Build Show, and TrueWork hosted a nice little thing for us. And not only did they host that, but one of the new teachers up in Iowa who's trying to restart a program. Right now they're hoping to start building sheds and then progress on the houses. They raised $3,000 in like 3 seconds for him to help tool and get materials and get going. So Sashco, you guys just had Charlotte on before we went to Vegas, and the Sashco crew, we know how awesome they are, and she is very passionate about helping out amongst everyone that we've talked to, Etienne, Sashco, TrueWork, all these companies, Huber, everyone's everyone's on the same team to do it, which is really cool. It's no competition. It's all for the better good. Then I didn't get to see as many booths as I wanted. Of course, I got by the SIGA booth. I was at the Huber Awards watching Mark get his social or community builder award at the social awards. Yeah, Huber's always the social awards are always a big magnet for that whole convention. Got to meet a bunch of other people that I just either have not got to meet in person. Aaron and the rest of the Canadian crew, we all finally got to shake hands and have some drinks and hang out. And it was exhausting. It was fun. I come back Friday. Thank goodness one of the local community college reps was here and came as a good buddy of mine, came and talked to the kids Friday because I was spent, man. I had no voice. I just wanted to lay down and fall asleep. So he talked to my afternoon class, and I kind of recovered over the weekend between kids' volleyball games and such. But this week we've had a good week at the job site. Like I said, I come off of the Shop Class podcast. We talked all about IBS as well. And it's one of those things where, I came back tired, but refueled, recharged, and excited to finish off the semester, and even more excited to get things all pulled together for the next build, which we're hoping we can tack the term net zero onto the next student build. So it was great.
Matt, is there any manufacturer person that you met at the show that learned about you and is going to help out your program and your endeavor with the kids and the build?
I don't recall if I met anybody new. Obviously, I talked to Etienne a lot. We're gonna have some more. We had SIGA Fentrim tape on. SIGA is gonna be a big part of our air barrier this year. Where the last few ones have been pushed out to the Huber Zip, which is still part of it. Huber's always supportive. You know what? Diamond Coat that does LP siding. Yep, I got connected with them. They were very excited about the idea of coming and working with us and doing on-job site training with the students install. Because he's like, oh yeah, we can do some wall mock-ups. I'm like, no man, we have a house. You just put it on there and it stays. Right. You'll literally train the kids on the house and stuff. So yeah, I did finally connect with Diamond Coat, which I'm very excited about. Looking forward to, like I said, finish off the year, getting ready for the new one. And IBS was wonderful. It's because of the people.
So this is a perfect time to announce to the community, when suppliers, when manufacturers, this is your chance to work with the building trades program, to work on the student build program, whether it's with Matt Bloomquist and the Taylorville High School community, or whether it's a community by yours to bring it along. Make those introductions. This is why we're here. And reach out to Matt. If you can't find him, we'll find him for you and we'll put you all together.
Love it. Perfect. I was texting some other people there. We may have a few more surprises before this day is over. So, just looking at this, and I'm going to go back to my regular view here and put you guys over there. I don't think I've ever been on this show where Etienne has been so quiet. Is it just me, or is everybody feeling a little nervous all of a sudden?
Well, we caught him off guard, right?
I know.
We caught him off guard. Etienne, this is a perfect time. So at the show, right, you had your team. This is your first time that SIGA has been a part of the International Builders Show. And you guys have obtained so much growth in the North American market. What were some highlights for you and your team and the people you work with, please?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. So I would say a few things. So first of all, it was really busy. I just looked up the attendance. That's why I was quiet. I saw over 70,000 home building professionals actually attended the show, and it's the highest attendance in 10 years. So what did that translate to for us? Well, we had a lot of traffic on our booth. And we had amazing conversations with a variety of people. I did get an opportunity to walk through the show for about a half a day. And I would say what I really noticed is that a lot more companies are now focusing on rain screens. And I'm very, very happy about that. There were times, maybe 5-6 years ago, where a lot of new systems came out and were promoted, and they were kind of moving away from a rain screen. It was their value proposition. You don't need rain screens, therefore, you can build faster, cheaper. But I'm telling you today, and I'm really happy that the industry is responding in a way, rain screens are super crucial. Good water management, ventilation of your facades results in longer paint jobs and just less issues in general. So I'm really, really happy that now companies jump back on that. So I would say these are kind of the two impressions that I had from IBS.
I love your comment that people have perceived that rain screen, dealing without rain screens is faster and cheaper. But in fact, rain screens are a fast part of your system, and they're valuable. If you want to replace your siding and have the problems in your building, go with fast and cheap. Keep doing that. But that's sarcasm, folks. The reality is
You only do fast and cheap when you're in Vegas, Mark. So we're back home now.
Thankfully, my internet cut out. I didn't catch that. But it's a valuable thing that Etienne points to. It's been going on. Sega started up in 1963, I believe.
66.
66. So 63 was, we don't talk about 63, 64, and 65, 66, big year, right? And all of that, examples and technologies have been done. And now it's just our path to bring it forward. And speaking of bringing it forward with rain screens, Aaron, what is the point where the rain screens and the sheathing and the siding and the flashing come together? Bring us your knowledge, brother.
My pleasure, Mark. Durability. When you add the rain screen, you have a drainage plane. So anything that gets behind your siding, and no siding is waterproof. It gives it that airspace, whether it's furring strip or some type of mesh, allows that water to drain out. Second purpose, it provides ventilation behind your siding. So you could keep a building dry by ventilating it. The wood is going to last longer. Again, back to durability. So the building is just going to last longer. You can't, it's a win.
It
You got
is.
somebody else dropping in
Yeah,
here.
they
Edie.
just keep popping in. Yeah, she's not paying attention. That's okay. We'll just stare at her for a while. What the heck? What's up, Edie?
Hey fellas, what's going on?
Nothing. We're just talking about rain screens and air barriers. And Aaron Jones was just departing some of his knowledge to the world on the purpose of them and what purpose they serve. So, welcome to the show, Aaron. I didn't mean to cut you off. So, did you want to go somewhere on that?
I don't know if we can continue down rain screens, but basically it's the cheapest insurance you can have for a building. A little bit of flashing, put some type of airspace or drainage plane on the outside between your sheathing and the cladding, and you've got a building that's going to win.
Yeah, I love it.
That's easy.
Here's
It really is.
Here's a question
hold
for the audience.
Hold on one second. Matt has to go. Let's make sure we give him a proper goodbye. His
apologies.
students are there. All right, Matt, you want to leave us with some parting knowledge, some wisdom that you picked up? Anything?
I mean, keep on. Yeah, the students are here and stuff. You know what? The biggest thing that's really helped us out and helped out our program is and we talked about the SASCO dinner, was the networking, the generosity from the community, everybody helping out, companies like Sega and SASCO and Huber and Rockwool and all the T-Stud and, all the great ones I get to work with. The program wouldn't be where it's at if it wasn't for all you guys. We wouldn't get to do if it wasn't for the community and people like Aaron sharing knowledge and Mark being a networker and and Andrew being such a big fan, and it's all a big fun whirlwind, and I can't thank you guys enough. It's been great.
Yes, I agree with you, and it's great having you on. We need more teachers doing what you do, and honestly, we wouldn't have anything if you weren't there getting the youth ready to take our positions. I mean, if you haven't noticed, most of us, other than that handsome guy above you in the middle, have gray hair. Well, and the one next to to Aunt Mark as well. But so yeah, man, keep doing the great work. I don't want to take away from the kids learning. That's what they're there for. So we'll be here for a few more if you want to pop back in or whatever. But go do what you got to do. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. See everybody.
Awesome.
So the question for the audience is, we've talked about different products and people at IBS, and we're going to put you in the spotlight in a second here, Miss Edie.
She's
The
good at the
question for
spotlight, by the way.
is if you've taken care of your exterior air control, if you've taken care of your rain screen, if you've taken care of your bulk water, how many vapor barriers should you have on the outside of your envelope? How many vapor barriers should you have? 2, 3, 4? There's a question for the audience. We'll get back to it in a minute. Edie, tell us about the show. What was the highlight for you and your team?
She didn't do anything at the show. I mean, it was a boring show for Edie.
Yeah, we just sat around. We didn't do anything. Well, and it's so funny because I get to see you guys now. I had moments with you because we were lucky enough to have a booth in the West Hall, which was not easy to get to the
That's a
performance
walk.
zone
Yeah.
or where the other panelizers were. But we were very well taken care of. And I feel like all of you sent people to us in our booth in the startup zone, which was amazing. So we applied to the special zone that was all new companies. Honestly, I think we were one of the older established companies with products in market, but amazing people. And Dave did an outstanding job hosting one of the first staged events of the event, which was 12 of those 20 companies got to do 4-minute pitches to a huge audience, which Dave, I still don't know who was in the audience. It was a really big room. They were a little bit quiet. You were really good at like getting the energy up as usual.
Thank you.
It was like, who were those people? They were wrapped, but I have no idea who we were speaking to. And then right back to our booth in the startup zone. And we had people all day long because Dave Cooper and Ben Bogey demoed Be Public Walls on stage in the performance zone. And so we were getting people from the other side of the show saying, oh yeah, we saw your panels. We came to find you. It was just like, I'm sorry, you guys had to either walk 3 miles or get in a Tesla and take a free ride under the building to come see us. But it was dynamite. We were very well received. A lot of builders, already in passive house or in high performance who came to us. We were getting plans right there emailed to us for estimating, which was like, you can't imagine a faster turnaround or like plug into what people are building and designing. It was incredible. And I certainly didn't see all 100,000 people, but we saw plenty. And we're definitely planning on going back and excited for what it means for our industry. I mean, I feel like there's a huge shift. And
There's a huge shift. Dave and I were talking that the building systems and building science were vocabulary that was commonplace this year.
Yep.
And for the folks that weren't there, again, to paint a picture, on Monday, Jonah comes in from Be Public, and Dave and Ben and I unwrapped the pallet. Dave and I put this together with them in about 2 minutes. Basically, by the time someone grabbed the camera, the wall, the floor foundation, the 2 walls, and the roof were already assembled. And we're talking, what were they, 14-inch thick walls?
Yeah, it was the R35 walls that were demoed.
R35 effective walls were put together. So that was Monday before anything happens. Then on Tuesday morning, we're recording to start off the show. Jonah comes in again. We're all hanging out live on the broadcast by Dave. And then here's the other part. When the people are presenting, there were some technology glitches, right? Because this is how live events go. And Dave would introduce each person. They had a set time limit. And the person before and after Edie, he had to bang the gong and cut them off. Edie was done about 15 seconds ahead of schedule and just got to take in the room, and we all noticed it. So everyone that presented there and did that from the speeches to the planning to the execution during the show was powerful. Thank you.
No, it was a lot of fun, and I absolutely love what I do. We're working on a short video series of behind the scenes at IBS. You guys want to see a 1 minute setup that shows where we were setting up and all the work we were doing? Mark, I think you even make a cameo in it.
Let's do the 3-day version, not the 1 minute. Let's do the 3-day. I got popcorn. Let's go.
Let's go. This is the 1 day because it's a series, Mark. It's a mini series. We're going to work on that though. I need Steve Basic here to tell you to shut up, don't I?
Let's get going.
Let's do it. Traveled from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada for the International Builder Show 2023. We're expecting upwards of 100,000 people, and we are here a day early before the show floor opens up, trying to get everything set up right here in the construction performance zone, currently putting together the panels and the mass timber wall system so we can demonstrate building systems. And then we have 5 other presentations as well. We will be on stage throughout the International Builder Show over the course of the 3 days. We have well over 100,000 people that are getting ready to walk through those doors tomorrow. And there's a lot of expectations of all of these people that are coming here to learn how to build it better. I'm a little concerned. There is a lot to do. There's a lot of presentations. I tell you, we probably could have used a few extra days. We're already running into some hiccups. And on top of that, we're already running into problems with our audio for our live broadcast, running into display issues. So I'm not sure we're going to get it all done, at least at this moment.
Wow.
That's it. That's the first one. What do you think? You guys like it? You're the first ones to see it.
We have Travis Brungardt, Ben Bogey, Joe Cook, Aaron Jones, lots of cameos in that. And, you know, the beacon of all that in the Las Vegas Spectrum was that beautiful NAHB sign circling around, right? It was the beacon. Everyone took a photograph of that. And the hot spot that Dave just showed was the performance zone. It was beautiful time. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. And those were Edie's panels. The blue ones were Be Public prefabs panels we were putting together, and we had a lot of fun doing that. I absolutely loved it. I just can't say enough. We had a lot of fun. Edie, it was great to be able to put you up on stage and to celebrate all the things that you guys are doing, because it takes a lot of effort to do that. And I think I enjoy it probably as much, or if not more, than Etienne when he gets to host everybody and put everybody in front of each other. So it's a lot of fun, and it's very rewarding to watch other people, have success. And that's what it's all about. So
Thank you for including us. And I got to raise up the education, the presentations that were given, back to back for all 3 days were so outstanding. And we did have some builders talk about, they sat there for, 8 hours straight in performance zone and didn't move. It was like they were wrapped. It was so much good information, and it was so well presented that you guys, I think in all of the zones, people just, sat down and soaked it in. And it's like the intensive learning and sharing that was done. And I have to say to the audience, you guys did a beautiful job talking about why prefab, why high performance. You certainly used our panels on stage, but it was not promotion of Be Public. You guys were brilliant and never said the name Be Public. And it really was about education of opportunities and different systems. It was not serving us. And so it was our pleasure to have the panels there and give you something as a tool. So it was outstanding content for a lot. I mean, back to back, it was a lot of work. Thank you, Dave. And to everybody who presented, it was killer.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody in this room was presenting somewhere at some time during the show or off the show floor. So yeah, thank you for that. And hey, listen, it's well-deserved for sure. Well, let's get off of the education part, and let's learn about, you know, what the most interesting things that, you know, you've seen there. Etienne, you mentioned, you know, more people getting into the barriers, right? The air barriers, the rain screens, things of that nature. Was there anything else that caught your eye? Because you were definitely walking the floor on occasion. You came up and bear hugged me once or twice, so I know you were out there. So what did you say?
Well, yeah, besides that, as I said, there is more of a focus on rain screen, which I think is great. I honestly didn't get too much of a time to walk the floor. I would say what I've just seen is a lot of cool interactions. It was super connected this year. I saw a lot of the construction influencers working at all these different booths and drawing huge crowds. It also shows me a little bit that a lot of the information that people these days receive about the industry is happening online and not so much at the show, maybe as in past days. So it shows a little bit of a change in the industry, I would say. But overall, really an amazing, it felt like family. It's really the best way to describe it. It was a great show. It was a very welcoming atmosphere also among exhibitors. It wasn't like too hostile or anything. It was just we were all there to lift up the industry, and so for me it was a very good experience.
Yeah, the vibe was there this year. I mean, it just felt good, you know, better than any show that I've been to, you know, in the past few years. It just seemed like we went to a whole nother level. How about yourself, Aaron?
Oh man, this was a wild ride for me. Starting off Monday, got in before the show started, straight to the performance zone, met up with just about everybody here. Me and Mark got in a little bit of trouble because there was a panel for the Be Public mock-up that couldn't be used. Yeah. Anyways, that's a story for another time, but we may have taken it on a cart somewhere we weren't supposed to take it on a cart. There was a Teamster who was angry. There was an angry Teamster.
Oh no.
I almost had to break out my Teamster badge from 1992. It was interesting, but yeah, story for after hours.
Yeah. Straight into Tuesday, I started meeting some people that I only know from online. Got to meet up with Matt Monday night at the SIGA dinner. I'm back to Monday already. I'm still excited. I'm still pumped up about it. Tuesday, I got to do a little demonstration. And then after the demonstration was over, Greg from NIAC, Westlake Royal, was donating a break to him. So we got to play together on that break that's going to his program. Amazing. I didn't get to see any of the booths I wanted to because I literally would take 10 steps, run into somebody that I wanted to talk to or wanted to talk to me. There would be an exchange of information. A half hour would disappear. Then it was back to the performance zone, whether I was presenting or I wanted to see a presentation. Probably one of the big wins for me is I got to see and meet Dr. Joe, the godfather of building science. That was a big win for me. There was lots of other ones, and I know I'm forgetting 100 people. I got to sneak over to the West Hall to see Edie. I think it was Thursday morning, real early. Yeah, you were out of the way, Edie, but I had to come see you.
Yeah, that was way out of the way. That was way over there. Awesome. Love it. I know, Edie, you got to go in just a few minutes as well. Andrew, you had something you wanted to say, though, according to the private chat that Mark's texting me on.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for everything, everybody. It was great to see y'all. And I just want to call out the networking part of it. I mean, there were so many great, I think the change in the materials and systems like what Edie's doing and the mass timber are pretty exciting. I would, there's Active House, the radiant cooling. There's so much cool stuff that's coming along. I think for me, it was always going to be about the people and being able to see folks like Aaron, who is part of that Canadian conglomerate on Instagram that makes education a theme, the networking a theme, supporting us as we learn. You know, Aaron has, I just met him last week for the first time, but so many improvements in my world just because he's sharing a little tip. Big result, you know, things like that are amazing. But meeting the teachers a year ago, meeting Matt at Orlando IBS, and then meeting Greg from Nyack and Iowa, and BS and Beer in Kansas City this fall, and that group is growing. And for sure, to me, that's the most important part, because GPOD Americas, we're interested in the future, and that type of networking, bringing the trades as a path for school children or college people or anybody else. Like, this is really important for us, I think, not just as businesses today that need competent labor and people who to be interested in the digital world and the material world, but the trend in technology towards the future and enabling people to take part in what's happening in their communities and the future. We need good buildings. We need to be healthy. We need to work together. And all of those things are really well represented by both what Aaron is doing in Instagram and also the school teachers that are bringing the future to the people who need the future most, and that's the next generation. So well done, everybody. It was great to share in that.
Yeah, the networking is what it's all about. That's why we're all on the call here today. We love each other so much we couldn't get enough. So they decided to quit work and join the Dave Cooper Live Show with Mark and I. I mean, right? BS Friday. Who needs to work?
We're not quitting work, Dave.
Oh,
We're just doing extra. This is extra time.
this doesn't work. Not for me. Not for me. All right, Edie, I know you got like 30 seconds. Why don't you tell us what was outside of, you know, just being so awesome and being on stage and meeting so many people about your, you know, about your building system that you have. What did you see that really was exciting for you?
I'm going to reiterate what others have said. Meeting people that we've been communicating with for, year plus in person and really getting to connect. I mean, this everything's about these relationships, and it is connecting one person, one company, and growing the network. I would retell I'm a big fan of the Burns program at University of Denver. And at one moment I was with 4 students who are about to graduate from that master's program in construction management. And we were having a great conversation. And when I said, "Oh, you guys are all in Denver, we're hiring," the lean in of all 4 of them and the eye contact and the handshakes and the very specific, "We'll be following up individually," was dynamite. And that's what we need, in addition to meeting builders out in the field who want to specify high performance and want to learn how to, install panelized systems, finding those up and coming students and hopefully soon graduates that want to enter the market and want to be a part of something that is like so energized. I think it's really exciting. I think some people would think about going to IBS as sort of, old school and very standard home building and very entrenched. And there was so much energy from these younger folks. And I would have to say, and I've had this conversation with some of you, we're looking at keeping people in the workforce, in the trades as they age out. Coming inside and working in a shop is attractive to people who have been on site. And they're like, "We want to retire because we're tired of being out there, but we love this craft and we want to transfer that knowledge." And then we've got the young people coming in and really interested in like technology and innovation. And it felt so good to be there and to really meet those folks and develop relationships we know are going to last. That was so excellent. So excellent.
I love it. Every one of you'd go back in a heartbeat, right? We're rested now. I was really tired when I got home, but we're rested now, right?
If I could sum up what you just said with Aaron's best hashtag ever, it would be apprenticeship is an obligation. Apprenticeship is an obligation. That's a two-sided conversation, and you get what you give and you give what you get. It's a brilliant thing. Great, powerful show by you and your team at both ends, from west to was it north? I don't even remember all the towers. South, right?
They had them all.
We'll have you back soon, Edie, and your growing team. Have a wonderful Friday, and we'll chat later.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Great show. Good job, Dave. You were
Thank you.
unbelievable. The energy brought. Thank you for that leadership.
Let me leave you with one thing to think about. In June, we have secured a lot of spots on the mall in Washington, D.C., outside the White House for showcasing housing. So you should reach out to me, Secretary of Housing, and so many other people are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of politicians. It would be a great place for you to get a lot more press. So this year is going to be bigger than ever. You want to know why, Edie? Because we complained so much the last 2 years, only giving us 30 days. We got almost 6 months to put this one together. So
Let's
it'll
go.
be fun. So
Meet you
hopefully
on the
we'll see you
mall.
there. All right. Good to
Thanks,
see
you guys. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye now.
It's well said, Dave. It's not about complaining. Now it's about celebrating, prepping, and preparing.
That's right.
And speaking of preparing, there's 3 or 4 instances in this show where people said the SIGA dinner, right? That is an epic title, and it's well deserved. But it wasn't so much a dinner, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, Etienne, but what it was an interactive platform for what we need to do and people we can communicate with day in and day out. There was collaborators, there was so-called competitors there, and we kept changing tables during the evening. And it was not one of these dinners where people are passing appetizers and ordering drinks. That's not what it was about. The focus of the meeting was how can we affect change? How can we support? And what do you need? Like Dave and the rest of us there was notes taken during dinner. There was selfies taken with people that you haven't met and want to meet, and there was contact shared. That was time that could have been grandstanded, and it wasn't about the wonderful team about SIGA. It was about how we can save these buildings before they're built, and how we can prepare for the building stock that we have to have another 100 years, and the critical path to get there. It was brilliant. I commend your team for all that planning behind the scenes. You know, you had already worked a 12-hour day, and then we were involved in a 4-hour evening of 27,000 steps. It was commendable. So
I have to admit, there was a lot of change for sure at this dinner, to include my waist size. This is the best buffet in all of Las Vegas. It's the best buffet in the world as far as I'm concerned. And I will tell you, I didn't need to order appetizers because I took my plate with me when I switched tables, and then I went for dessert. But the fun about it was when you do something like this, you end up going and getting in line with people you normally wouldn't be hanging out with from the group, and you start talking about stuff, and then you start complaining about the line, so you end up in the dessert line instead of the seafood line, and vice versa. So I do agree with you, Etienne. It is by far the best place to have a get together in a private room where we could go back in and be amongst ourselves. So well done and well said, Mark. I didn't mean to jump on your parade there, but I did gain a couple pounds.
Well, this is a setup. We asked before we brought Edie in, we asked the audience a question: how many vapor barriers we should have on the outside of the building? And we're not going to answer that now. Instead, we have Miss Charlotte from SASHCO, all the way joining us from the great city of Colorado. How are you doing?
It's my first time out of the house since getting back from the show, because I brought home the cooties that so many people did.
Oh, no.
But I won't complain. I'm good.
Well, welcome to the show, and I'm glad if you had the cooties, they've hopefully left you by now, or on their way gone. Yeah. My kids get those cooties at school all the time. It's not fun.
I think a few of us got it last week.
I will say, Charlotte, we've talked about a lot of stuff, but again, there's a whole mass of people in the industry and audience that weren't able to attend. And when I bumped into Aaron at the beginning of the day, right, we're already 3 coffees deep. It's 8 o'clock. we said, okay, we're going to meet at Westlake. We're going to walk through. We're going to have a coffee. I'll see you at 11 at Sega. I'll see you at 12 at Sashco. I'll see you at 1 at Huber. I'll see you at the Performance Zone if I could get there before that, and definitely after that. Those were the hubs. And it was the hubs because those are the people that put the industry first. So it's nice that here we are a Friday later. Two of those companies, Sega and Sashco, are here channeling that. Would you agree, Charlotte? Those were the hubs?
I mean, I think they're the hubs because of, yes, I mean, I have every bit of admiration for what Sega's doing, and I love my own brands, but I would say the hubs are the hubs because it's where all the people partner together and the relationships are strong. I think that's why those became the hubs. Maybe, yeah, you're right. It's a circle, right? But yeah.
The hubs are the hubs. That's what I just learned.
I
all
still
held
have
together.
COVID fog, okay?
All held together. All held together with Sashco caulking. Love it.
Yeah, you know.
That's right. You can't get from one to the other without squirting a little Sashco along the way. Perfect. Well, so Charlotte, you're in the car, hopefully in the passenger seat. Where are you headed to?
I'm headed to the gym to stretch.
Yeah,
Maybe,
right. Get it on.
We'll see if I make it through. Yeah.
You know what? Get the blood circulating. That's one way to get out of the fog for sure. For sure.
Exactly.
Yep. You know, Mark, I haven't heard about your little rides on the lake lately. You used to get up and always go for a walk and go for a canoe ride on the lake.
Yeah, this week it's been cutting down some limbs and having some fires while we were all in Vegas. There's a freeze snap, and so we did some limb work instead of some rowing. How about that?
Yeah. Well, there you go. You can whittle your own paddle next time.
Bing bang boom.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been awesome to have everybody in. And Charlotte, I'm glad you're feeling better. I know you had a great show as well. Mark brought some of your products up on stage for our live podcast. We're working on trying to we had some audio issues. The audio we got from the audio guy didn't work for the first like 15 minutes or something of our broadcast, but we got the other half of it and they're trying to fix it. So hopefully we'll be able to get that all pulled together and wrapped up. But, yeah, I heard you had a great show, so that was awesome, and you definitely have a whole lot of supporters at the show, so that's great. Oh, she froze. We lost her.
That's all good. That's all good. So the question I wanted to ask, have answered that we asked the audience earlier is how many vapor barriers we should have on the outside of the building. And rather than list the comments that the audience might have put forward, Etienne, this one is coming to your doorstep. We've controlled the air barrier. We've controlled the water. We have a rain screen. How many vapor barriers should we have on a building?
Well, I mean, so first of all, it really depends on the climate. If you're in a hot, humid climate, you want one vapor barrier, and that vapor barrier is on the exterior of your building because the hot and humid air is outside. The cold and drier air is on the inside, so you will have a constant pressure and flow from the outside to the inside. Now, in cold climates, there it's a little bit different. In theory, you would have the vapor barrier on the inside of your wall because you have the hot and humid air mainly inside during winters, and you would have a constant pressure to the outside. Nowadays, vapor barriers, especially for these cold climates, have evolved, and they became vapor retarders, and now they are actually even smart vapor retarders. So those move up. But I think we always have to be careful when we talk about all these layers, because we have to look at the wall as a whole. And where is this wall located? In what climate? How much insulation? So be careful. I want to be very mindful of giving you this one answer because a one answer will not fit all the climate zones. But if I have to generalize, cold climates interior, hot, humid climates on the exterior. That's where you usually manage vapor.
And to be fair, Etienne, the question was a setup, right?
It's
the
a good
question
setup.
was a setup because
It's a
the
trap.
real answer is how you expressed it. We have to decide what's going on, right? And we don't have a blanket answer. So sometimes folks will get blessed with going to NHB or the Building Science Symposium, and they'll see an example maybe that Jake Bruton did in Missouri, or Ben Bogey did in Connecticut, right? Or someone did in Colorado. And then they said, I saw that and I'm going to do that. And then your face and Aaron's face and Dave's face and Andrew's face says, hang on. What is your plan and what is really going on with that wall, right? And so beautifully, eloquently put, and this is always about it. Plan early and decide that with your team. The air boss. Yeah, you're more than an air boss. And you're right. The membranes and tapes today are smart because many climate zones are dealing with cold for 4 months of the year and hot. And there's this huge humidity change going on. So thankfully, we have the technology to assist and help combat and live with the realm of Mother Nature and all she brings.
You have to be thoughtful and deliberate when you're building efficiently.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yep. I mean, the shirt Aaron is wearing, right? Black Ladder doesn't turn around and protect you from all the rain and then not allow some areas to breathe, right, in their jackets. So, hey, Jerry. Hello. Beautiful.
That's awesome.
That is
Mom.
really awesome. I think that's the second time. Have a blessed day. You did good work. Dave turned out wonderful. We're blessed because of you.
Good.
Now I don't want to talk about rain screens. I'd rather talk about how awesome Dave is.
Yeah. Enough about me. I do like the idea of range screens, and I wasn't joking. I did put that up there. I saw Etienne's face smile when I said it. Attend the SIGA training. It can be applied no matter what product you're using. The principles are sound. The products are great. And you know what? I actually, for somebody that knew nothing about it when I went, really, really enjoyed it and loved it. I am an air boss. I'm not as much of a practitioner as Aaron Jones is and Andrew these days, but I know enough to get me by, and I know when it's wrong now, and that's all I need to know. So just wanted to throw that out there.
One of the other great takeaways I took away from IBS was it didn't matter who you were talking to. It didn't matter what product or what company they were representing. You could go to the Huber booth and they would talk about whatever. As long as you were trying to build better, they didn't care if you were using something from Engineered Woods or you're using a SIGA product or a 475 product. They just wanted to know that you were building better. Same when you showed up to the SIGA booth. As long as you were headed in the direction of tight, durable, comfortable, that's all they wanted to hear.
That's it. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Building a relationship with those teams. You had Kenneth out of the East Coast, Etienne. He was at the show. And here we go. Greg Ugaldi says, David Mark, share with Etienne and your other guests. Attendance at IBS overall was 110,000 all shows combined. Greg, you're a rock star. Your team is amazing. Quality people, quality time, and I got to sit next to Greg during one of Dave's live show, and thank you for that. I trailed off my other one.
He trailed off again. I threw you off twice today. My mom threw you off. I threw you off. This is amazing.
That's all right. So Etienne, yes, it was Kenneth Kiefer, right? Is his name? He does the trainings. This is what I wanted to stack behind what Aaron said is when you connect with those teams early and when you connect with those teams often, They will help deliver that insurance policy and durability so that the materials that you put inside of these dwellings and buildings and commercial spaces are protected. And why do we do that? Why do we talk about this? Why do we ingrain it? It's because people matter and the health of your buildings matter. So minimizing those leaks is a strategy. Craftsmanship and connected and collaboration is how it gets delivered.
Well said. Well said. Well, what are you guys thinking? I mean, I don't know if we can say any more good things about IBS, right? I was looking for a picture of you and Greg here, and there's like 1,000 pictures, man. I can't get to one.
I sent it to your phone on Monday, but I don't know if your phone can talk to your computer, can talk to the internet, can talk to LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch.
It can definitely talk. I just don't know if it's going to talk right now as I try and do this live with everybody waiting in the wings for me to find something. So we'll find it. We're going to be putting them out all the time anyhow. Well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you guys all tuning in and joining us today. Aaron, thanks for taking time out of your garage cleanup there on the rainy, snowy day. Appreciate that. And Andrew, how's the prototype coming?
It's going really well, Dave. Thanks for asking. Thanks for all the support. It's an amazing thing to have Mark here hanging out. We're working through some of the plans for this year, and you and Dave, you and Mark are so important to my world. I pretty much know everybody here through you guys. And Mark, years ago, reaching out on LinkedIn, talking about crazy projects, and it's really become the core of the network today. So Dave, I know you through Mark, and it's an amazing thing. And now we can kind of focus on what do we do with this community project, and how do we go forward, which is amazing for me, because originally when I started out on this path, it didn't have any, it was kind of in a vacuum. So knowing people like Aaron and Edie and hey, Mateo, hey, Greg, this is Etienne, and just so much. It's an amazing community to be part of. So it's nice to have folks show up. I'm kind of out in the bush, so it's nice to have visitors. Dave, it's been 1.5 years. You're welcome back. Next time you got to bring the family.
I'm on my way.
Let's do a review. So we're getting the metal on. Things are going really well. We're starting the interior work and got a few more decisions to make. Got a lot of little parts of the project that are coming together. So more on that later. We'll do an update at some point when you guys have time in the schedule.
Excellent. There it is, Mark. I found it.
That's great.
So
That's great.
what you're seeing there is Greg Ugaldi on the Performance Zone stage with Dave wearing his also sexy IBS shirt. And that is a mass timber wall that we assembled, Aaron and myself and Dave and the rest of us. We assembled that on Monday before the show started. It was incredible. So if you're not connected with Greg, connect with Greg. If you're not connected with Ben Bogey, connect with him. Aaron Jones, Big Dog Construction. ATN, Build Tight. Andrew, G-Pod, and Dave is on YouTube. Connect with all these folks. This is where you get collaboration. This is where you get support, building systems, building science, and building friendships.
And education to boot. So, all right, everybody. Listen, that's a wrap for today. If we didn't flash your name up, we will. Mateo and so many others out there, Live Free Contracting. Always want to give a shout out to all of those folks there. First time IBS experience and loved it. Of course, Mom's says you guys are the best, so she gives you a shout out. So, listen, everybody, I think it's really amazing that we all got to hang out in Las Vegas, and we had some fun too. We got to have some drinks one night, all of us together, and do that. So, for the rest of you, don't go anywhere. That's you right there in front of me on the show. But for all of you out there, have an awesome weekend. I will be in Morgantown, West Virginia for hockey this weekend, so no show tomorrow. And you guys are going to be somewhere in Vegas or somewhere in Texas, not Vegas. And I hope Steve Basic got home because I saw his plane went to the wrong place. He ended up in Mexico or something. It said on his post. I don't know.
That's great.
Aaron, tell the family we said hello. And Etienne?
You guys are busting up real bad now.
Well, we're that's all right. We were making fun of you as we're all done now.
The internet has to take a ferry to get to Aaron, so
That's,
it's complicated.
It is complicated. Etienne, thank you so much, man. Enjoy your trip to Italy. If we don't talk, stick around if you guys want to chat after the show. But that's a wrap here. We're going to end it, and we're going to move on to the weekend. So that's a wrap, everybody. Have a good one. Bye now.